Come on, you guys, let's go. Now, I have to say, I'm absolutely loving life as a Chelsea fan right now because we are scoring goals for fun under Enzo Maresca. Goals, 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 goals. And we can thank goal scorers in Veiga, Neto, Nkunku, and Kane Dewsbury-Hall tonight because this was an emphatic scoreline in our first ever game and hopefully our last ever tournament in the Conference League. And I'm going to talk my ish right now. I'm going to keep things brutally honest, but I do not see one team or even half a team that can take us on blow for blow. I don't see it. I'm keeping things real with you. I don't think any team in this tournament has the capabilities to match us possession-wise. And if they're stupid enough to want to go toe-to-toe against us and play open football, we will pick them off for fun. I think Gent felt the full force of how he can destroy teams in many different ways, but equally at the same time, I feel like this game was a small reminder that if for some reason we don't easily, and I'm really mean this, easily win the Conference League, the only way I don't see it happening is if we essentially beat ourselves. And we will beat ourselves by not scoring goals when we should, which right now I don't see happening, but we will beat ourselves with the sloppiness. The only small, tiny negative I have to say was the nature of the two goals we conceded today. Conceding yet again another set piece goal. I feel like we do the hard work, we at least win the duels in the books, but the moment there's like a second phase, the moment after the clearance, we kind of go to sleep. We don't see intensity from anyone taking responsibility to stop the cross coming in or even being alert for second balls. And then equally at the same time, we can be a little bit susceptible to the cutback cross. Obviously, great goal by Ganderman, I have to say. I thought Archie Brown definitely grew into that game in the second half, really demonstrated why we came close to signing him for Blueco. So he was decent tonight. But I feel like if we're going to not win this tournament, it will come down to us beating ourselves essentially. So this was a small little wake-up call about the focus we need to have from the first minute to the last minute. But that's the only small negative because there's only positives. And I think one of the clearest things I could see is the fact that not only is the first team really just growing in the understanding of Maresca's methodology, but it also feels like the B team, the Conference League team, they are also now getting up to speed with things. And that is really exciting to see, I have to say. That is very exciting to see because imagine how important depth will be for us as this long season does go on, yeah? Because when they all start to understand each other's games, I feel like a madness will come as the season goes on. And, if the Conference League allows for the B team players to familiarize themselves in the system with each other even more, that's only going to help the first team even more as the season goes on. But I feel like before I continue on, one player I want to discuss today, my man of the match tonight, was Renato Veiga. As I said at the start of this review, I felt like this was Veiga's best game playing the inverted role. Because what I really like about the B team tonight is Maresca continued his use of this 3-3-4 where we have three at the back, obviously Badia, Tosin and Disasi, three in midfield with Veiga on the left, Kasaide, who's doing all right, playing that role deeper, and obviously Kylian Dewsbury on the right-hand side, and up front in Neto, Mudryk, and Nkunku, and Felix. And I feel like for that role to really make sense, how Veiga inverts midfield, he's what brings the balance essentially. And I have to say, he was so crisp with his passing. He was so confident with his passing as well too. He was not afraid to play a line-breaking pass. He was not afraid to play a quick ball in behind to release a striker who wants that ball early in space. He was regularly finding Mudryk in dangerous areas every single time. He even showcased his great long-range passing at times. And honestly, I was very happy for this kid when he scored his debut goal with an excellent header where he was at the far post. And you think to yourself, as he matures, as he develops, as he gets even better with his understanding of how to play this way, you can really see the potential of what Renato Veiga could be like, right? This all-action football player that, is ridiculous defensively, that contributes in midfield in terms of winning duels, kickstarting attacks, and also, hopefully in the future, influencing the game by coming in with that occasional goal with a blaster outside the box or using his height and aerial ability to come in with those headers at the far post. I feel like, okay, I can't say I feel like, but I think we all felt like Veiga was an exciting project in the making. I think that's why a lot of us didn't really feel too skeptical about the move. But it does feel like with time, Veiga could be a very interesting player. And if anything, I think playing in the Conference League, this is going to be the tournament that's really going to boost his confidence even more. And hopefully, as he develops and progresses even more in the Conference League, he will translate that ability into the league. And you think to yourself, Cucurella has been a very great supportive player, but if Veiga can get ready to start competing for that first team spot, imagine how good Veiga could be when he's actually ready to be at that level. So Renato Veiga tonight, best player on the field. It's great to see him do that in front of the home fans. But outside of that, man, I feel like it was just complete domination in this game today, especially in that first half. I just felt like our use of the ball was quite good. Of course, we had to be patient because teams like Gent, the only thing they can do to stay in the game is to, keep their shape, keep their defensive discipline, not try to get, too easily opened up. And a lot of times they're playing off the ball. But, as a fan, you might think to yourself, oh, Nini, it's not as exciting. Why aren't we seeing many shots? But you have to think to yourself, control is also important. And the beautiful thing about how we keep the ball is that it tires out these teams as the game goes on. So you have to think to yourself, okay, the first half is the half, we tire them out with our possession play. Second half, when the game opens up even more, we can hit them even more with a counter-attacking threat, as we've seen throughout the season. And we definitely demonstrated that in both halves. But it was nice to see that it wasn't this passive, tentative type of possession play where we were regularly forcing turnovers in our own half or being really sloppy in the final third, like what we saw against Servette. To see this game against Gent, who are a decent team in Belgium, compared to the two games that we showcased against Servette, is literally like an entire generational upgrades. I mean, you can't even compare it. And to think that that game against Servette was 6 weeks ago, less than 2 months ago. I mean, come on. The development, the progress, I feel like Maresca deserves big credit for how he's managing this squad, how he's getting them to understand his ideas. But hearing reports saying that they love the football, they like the manager, they feel like he gives them clear instructions on the field. And right now, everything's tick, 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 tick in terms of this checklist. And this is why we're all feeling finally excited to watch our team play every single week. This is why we're feeling that hope again, that something could happen here. We're a little bit of a surprise package in that sense, but we also are a team full of quality where it matters as well too, right? So, man, I'm really excited to see what happens. But to end with things, let's discuss the goals before I give my closing thoughts. Now, I thought the first goal, Veiga at the far post, excellent header, but well played by Mudryk with a good cross. I felt like his crossing was threatening. It didn't always have the end products, but it was threatening because he was in the right moments at the right time. Old Mudryk wouldn't even be on the end of these crosses. He would have been overplaying things, or his crosses would have literally gone straight out the field and gone into the stands. So listen, it's an improvement there. And he does record yet again another assist, and he got the most important assist to, get the first goal to really just force Gent out of their game plan a little bit. So that definitely helped us. For the second goal, it's nice to see Neto scoring yet again in consecutive games really early on with the start of the second half, which essentially nearly killed that game off completely. I thought it was a great goal. I love the celebration between Neto and Disasi. Neto running to Disasi, jumping in his arms. You're seeing that togetherness. I feel like it communicates the friendships and togetherness in the squad right now, which is an even more positive thing to see, especially with the new players. Disasi was a great clipball in between Gent's defence, but a lot of that came from Neto making that curve run to even get into that space, and I really liked his finish. I thought it was composed, even though it was like a powerful finish at the near post. It was composed because he used the right technique at the right time, getting his knee above the ball to hit it in the near post away from the keeper. Excellent goal from Pedro Neto. Of course, Nkunku gets on the score sheet to make it 3-1 in the end. And The funny thing with Nkunku was that he wasn't really in the game as much. He was kind of on the periphery at times. Not necessarily his fault. We couldn't find him as much as we wanted to. But the thing with Nkunku is that he has that experience. And the thing is, he doesn't need 10 touches to influence the game. Not a guy of his level and his ability, yeah? He took his goal excellently. Again, right technique for the right times. I always look at details like that. You know, nice, low, hard, driven effort to surprise the goalkeeper. Pure power in that moment. He wasn't taking any chances at all. And I kind of feel confident to say this, but I feel like Nkunku is set to be the leading scorer in the Conference League because I just think that he's probably the best player, one of the best players in this tournament right now. I'm still crossing my fingers that eventually there is going to be an opportunity for Nkunku to kind of be with the first team guys, because I feel like if we could have that world-class finishing in the books to what we have in that team, boy, those half-chance situations or moments where you need that experience, that could be the biggest difference between success and failure, right? So that was good to see. And obviously for the final goal, Dewsbury-Hall, I thought his performance tonight was very industrious. I'd probably say it was his best game I've seen from him as well too. He was very ecstatic to get that fourth goal. I think he really wanted that today. He was really testing the keeper with shots outside the box, looking to influence the game, which is nice because I think it reflects the confidence that he feels within the squad and his teammates too. He wasn't part of the match they scored against Brighton. Not everyone can be, but he was obviously set to play in the Conference League. And if we get right to the final, and Dewsbury was playing nearly most of these games, he's getting decent game time this season, to be fair with you. So hopefully he keeps this up right now, and hopefully we can see what he does as the season goes on. But I guess if there's one small thing personally I've really wanted to see Keanu Dyer play today, it's not that deep. I'm not crying about it. We saw Gu and Tyree George coming on. It's nice to see that Maresca is giving opportunities to the young players, which, he's been pretty confident in doing since the season started. So that's been really good to see from him. So that's kind of it, my friends. As I said, if we don't end up winning the Conference League, it's going to be a massive disgrace because we are easily the best team. No team can handle our possession play. No team can handle us when we play transitionally as well too, our set pieces or anything. And if we don't win this, it would be because we beat ourselves with sloppiness or not finishing our chances, because I'm sounding arrogant, but I have to keep it real. It's how I feel. I think we're comfortably the best team by a mile in the Conference League. And I want us to wrap this competition up so we win every single European Cup on offer. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed, man. Share your thoughts and opinions. Hit that like button as well too. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you all soon. Cool.